Imagine standing in the middle of New York City. Around you are some of the most expensive buildings on Earth. Millions of people rush through the streets every day. But right in the center of all that chaos lies an 843-acre mystery, a place with hidden history, buried communities, secret landmarks, thousands of trees, and stories most visitors never hear. This is Central Park, and while millions walk through it every year, very few know. It's hard to imagine now, but Central Park wasn't always a park. In the early 1800s, the area was mostly rocky land, marshes, farms, and small settlements outside the busy city. As New York rapidly expanded, city leaders worried residents would have nowhere to escape the growing congestion. So in 1853, New York City made a bold decision. It purchased hundreds of acres of land right in the middle of Manhattan to build what would become Central Park. At the time, many people thought the idea was completely insane. Why waste valuable land on trees and grass? Today, that decision looks like genius. But there's a darker side to Central Park's history. Before construction began, thousands of people lived on the land. Among them was a thriving community called Seneca Village. It was one of the most significant African-American communities in New York during the 1800s. Families owned homes, children attended school, and churches served the neighborhood. Then everything changed. Using eminent domain, the city claimed the land for the new park. More than 1,600 residents were displaced. Homes were demolished. Entire neighborhoods vanished. Today, millions walk through Central Park without realizing an entire community once stood beneath their feet. Here's something that surprises many visitors. Central Park looks natural, but much of what you see was carefully engineered. The lakes, the hills, the meadows. Many were designed and constructed by people. To create the park, workers moved enormous amounts of stone, soil, and earth by hand. Millions of cubic yards were relocated. Bridges, pathways, and landscapes were meticulously planned to look effortless. In other words, one of the world's most famous natural spaces is actually one of the greatest landscaping projects ever attempted. The original budget was around $5 million. Sounds expensive, right? Well, the project ended up costing nearly 3 times that amount. Construction lasted about 15 years and eventually cost around $14 million in the 1800s. Adjusted for inflation, that's hundreds of millions today. And even now, maintaining the park costs tens of millions of dollars every year. Central Park may be free to visit, but it's one of New York City's most expensive treasures. When most people think of Central Park, they imagine lawns and walking paths, but the park is actually home to more than 18,000 trees spread across its landscape. These trees aren't just beautiful, they help cool the city, improve air quality, and create habitats for wildlife. In a city filled with concrete and glass, these trees act like giant natural air conditioners, and maintaining them is a full-time job. Specialized arborists spend their days climbing, inspecting, and caring for thousands of trees across the park. Now for something truly unexpected. Central Park isn't just home to people, it's home to wildlife. More than 300 bird species have been spotted here over the years. Hawks soar above the city skyline, turtles live in the ponds, raccoons roam after dark, and occasionally, even more surprising visitors appear. Over the years, coyotes, exotic snakes, and other unusual animals have been spotted in the park. Imagine seeing a wild predator while standing in the middle of Manhattan. That's Central Park. Every year, more than 42 million people visit Central Park. That's more visitors than many countries receive tourists. On busy summer weekends, hundreds of thousands of people can pass through the park in a single day. Think about that. A place originally designed as a peaceful escape has become one of the world's most famous destinations. Yet somehow it still feels like an escape. Throughout the park, you'll find thousands of benches, and many of them have plaques attached. Why? Because people can actually adopt a bench. For a donation, individuals can dedicate a bench in memory of loved ones or leave messages that become part of the park's history. It's one of the most unique traditions in New York City. Most visitors focus on the scenery, but Central Park is also an outdoor museum. The park contains around 70 permanent works of art, monuments, and statues. Some honor historical figures, others celebrate literature and culture. You can spend an entire day exploring the park and still discover something you've never seen before. Central Park is much more than a park. It's a masterpiece of design, a wildlife sanctuary, a living museum, a memorial to forgotten communities, and one of the most ambitious urban projects ever built. Millions of people visit every year, yet most never learn the stories hidden beneath the trees, paths, and lakes. So the next time you see Central Park in a movie, on social media, or maybe even in person, remember that you're looking at far more than a patch of green in New York City. You're looking at one of America's greatest hidden stories. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more strange facts, hidden history, and mysteries from around the world. And tell us in the comments, what's the most surprising thing you learned about Central Park today?